Well, hello and welcome to the Tea and Coffee Hub podcast. Hello, Karen.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I got to tell you the story. Just happened this week. So I was sitting with some entrepreneurs at a networking event. We kind of broke off because we've all met each other before and everything else. And we went off to the side. They're having their cocktails. I'm having my coffee. And a topic came up, and they all stopped. And once the topic came up, and looked over at me and said, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Well, why are you all looking at me?" And they're like, "Because we know you live and die on this one." And I go, "What is it?" And they all go, "Goal setting." And I just started laughing, going, "I know most of you don't have goals and you're not setting goals with intention in your business and in your personal life. And how's that going for you?"
Yeah, so many
And
people have this vague goal.
I want to build a business and sell it for $1 million. Where did you come up with this? That's not a goal. It's
It's a wish.
it's a, it's talk.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Oh my gosh.
dream. But a goal is having a plan behind it, a solid goal. And no, you cut that out of sight. So one of the reasons I go, so why'd you all look at me? And they go, because you turned around businesses. And the second you go into the business, all you do is for your first 2 weeks is investigate and ask a million questions.
Yep.
Then you sit down with the leaders and they'll develop a one goal to attain in a 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, 1 year, and a five
hmm
year. Then you develop the plan behind it. How do you do that?
Yeah. Goal set. And the thing is, different ways to goal set works differently for
Mhm.
different people. You,
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're talking to one person and they're telling that the only way you can set a goal is in one specific way, run,
They're wrong. Run
run.
away.
They're
Run
wrong.
away.
Run. You have to find a method that works for you. Because I know everyone goes on about smart goals, how smart goals are amazing. Some people have, I hate them
Yeah. I love
because
them,
I
but
find
it's not for every situation.
they restrain me. They actually
Mhm.
stop me going beyond a goal.
Mhm.
So I heard, who is it, Brendan Burchard and dumb goals, and then I
Dumb
break it
goals.
down. I turn it down into steps, but that allows me to go beyond my goals rather than just be stuck. So that's how my brain works.
Yeah. This is why there's so many different ways to do it. But you got to start with something. And the something
hmm
is, I would like everyone to think about your own business right now. What
Yeah,
is your real goal? Oh, to sell my business in 20 years for $1 million. That if that's
that's not a
it,
goal.
then put it on paper and break it back down. Break it backwards. What will it
Yeah.
take for you to get there from today to then? That's when everyone starts realizing that's a pretty vague and not realistic goal.
Yeah.
Now, in some
It's
businesses,
I
yes. And in one of my businesses, I created a goal to sell it in 2 years. I sold it in 18 months, but I had a hardcore plan behind it and I executed that thing like no tomorrow.
I had a business that I had no intention of selling, and it started to not feel like me anymore. And I sold it for multiple six figures, and I was like, oh, oh. But my goals were about the passion of developing the business.
Right.
So even though my goal wasn't to sell it, because I followed the other goals I set, it made it a viable option.
There you go.
So,
Absolutely. And it just shocks me so many business owners don't have a true goal for their business. Because we're going to talk about exit strategy, I know another time, because God, we're going to go
hmm
deep into that. I've taught so many workshops on exit strategy, and people think I'm crazy when I talk to them. They're starting a business, and I go, "Great, what's your exit strategy?" And they get mad because they're like, "I'm starting a business, I haven't even started it yet. And here you are telling me what is my exit strategy." The reason is, like the saying goes, if you don't have a target to go to, how do you know when you hit it? Or how are you
right.
getting there? So
Yeah.
what's your goal?
And I have some pretty sad news for people. And I just have to say this because I hear this a lot. Some people are, my goal is never to sell because my business is going to be a legacy and my children
Yeah.
are going to run my business and then my grandchildren, then what if they don't want to?
Oh, and folks, they don't want to.
Some of them do. Some of them love it. Some of them are like,
Very,
woo! But more often than not,
yeah.
they don't want to.
No, the stats are legacy businesses, that's what that's called, is 8%. If
Yeah.
it can survive 3 generations, you're down to maybe 1 to 3% of left. That's so that shrunk it down a lot. So the thing you should be thinking of selling, merging, expanding,
Yeah. And
franchising.
and some of those businesses that are the legacy business, it's not the kids, grandkids, great kids running it. They've hired a CEO and they're just enjoying the stock money from it.
Right.
So, but let's talk about what kind of goals are you hearing from these entrepreneurs? And I'm talking the ones that make you want to fill out an ID10T form. If you don't know an ID10, if you don't know what an ID10T is, write it down and then have a giggle.
Yeah, I mean, I always hear the same thing. I hear this the most is I want to sell my business for $1 million and retire on a beach. And then I start breaking it down. Okay, great. When is that going to happen?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
How are you going to get to over $1 million? So now you got to let's break this down. Companies in your industry, and I'll do a little research. So you might be 3 to 4, 5 times your EBITDA. That's your earnings before interest and tax, and
Blah, 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 blah.
I know.
Sorry, I had to make fun
I
of
have
you
not
there.
had enough coffee, obviously, today.
Drink more coffee.
So, so that's your very bottom. So let's say you're taking at the end of the day like 100,000 and your company's in that industry selling 4 to 5 times. So the best case scenario, someone might buy it for $500,000.
Hmm.
That's a long ways from your $1 million goal. Plus, you didn't take involved any asset transfers, debt, all these other things. And oh, there's this thing called the IRS. They're going to wallop you with taxes for
Yes,
the
and they love to
sale
do
of your
that.
business. So I start talking to them about that. Like, let's break this backwards. And once I just
Hmm.
start that little process, they change their goal to something else. And that's okay. In 10 years, I want to sell it for $1 million. I'm like, at least you had a time frame, but
Yeah.
how are we going to get there?
Hmm. Yeah. The most common one I get is, well, my spouse, they work so much, and I just want to have it so they don't have to work in that job so long because it's not good for them. So I need to bring them home. Great. How much is that going to take? How much do you have to be able to earn to cover both yours and their salary?
Right.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so what's your plan about hiring people? Oh no, I was going to do it all.
Right.
Okay, so how much do you charge? And they'll give me a number. So in order to get both those salaries divided by that, how are you going to work 727 hours a week?
Exactly.
Oh, you didn't think about that. The, I love reverse engineering.
Oh,
Reverse
that's it.
engineering is my favorite thing to do in the entire world. You can set any goal you want, any dream you want. You can, I don't care if you want to build your building, if you want to build a franchise of your business on the moon. And yes, I'm going ridiculous here. Right, that's your goal. Great. Reverse engineer it. What are all the steps that are going to take to make that a reality?
Funny you mention that. I had a client, he goes, I want to franchise my business. I go, great. Before we get to the franchise, let's make a model, if you will. Let's
Hmm.
duplicate you, but you're not allowed to be there. And he was like, what? Write down everything you do.
Mm.
So we worked on this
Yeah.
for a month and a half. I said, do you have a friend who you can pay on for a month to duplicate and build the franchise following your model here?
Hmm.
And he found someone who was actually interested in the business and he paid him an hourly rate. And he says, here's the guide, go.
Hmm.
Gave him minimal training like he would a franchisee.
Yeah.
He learned more in the next 6 months of all the holes in his idea than anything. At the end of 6 months, all the holes were plugged. We
Hmm.
had a better franchise model. Then he goes, I know someone who wants to actually buy a franchise from me. I go, let's
Hmm.
work out that you still own it, but he runs it and gets a percentage and all this. We worked out these kind of crazy deals. He did it, gave it to this
Test
person
running.
to test it, a testing.
Hmm.
And guess what? The guy was following it to a T. We found a few more holes. We cleaned it up. Next thing you know, the guy is like, how do I become a full owner?
Hmm.
Because he knew he was making money.
Yeah,
So then it was like,
yeah.
uh-oh, now we get the lawyers involved and the franchising process started.
So I'm actually going to say something here that is probably going to upset some people, but I'm a meanie. I don't believe in Alex Hormozzi's every 15 minutes. I think that's you put too much time into doing that than actually doing your business. It's like a you have to have a balance.
Right.
For 7 days, just track what you're doing at what times.
Hmm.
Just a rough estimation, because that's another thing I find with a lot of it. They have great goals, great dreams, and they think think they're slugging their hearts out and they're working so hard and they're doing all this work. And when we track it, they're like, I only did 17 hours worth of work in a week.
Hmm.
How's that possible? Distractions,
Hmm.
rabbit holes, things like that. But you need to track it in order to meet goals. Because if you don't, you're just
Sure.
losing it.
There's so many business owners that don't have monthly goals, weekly goals, or even daily goals. And you
Mhm.
know me, I have a pad of paper near me. It has daily goals. I must get these things. I have a tasks and goals. I
I
know
have several.
exactly. But this keeps you on track and gets rid of those distractions. But
Hmm.
there's a million systems out there, folks. We're just giving you a
Yeah.
couple examples. Find the right one that's for you. But you got to have a
Yes.
goal. Where are you moving your business? And even in one of the business I turned around, we actually looked at our business plan every month and looked at the financials and compared. Did we match what we said we were going to do when we created this? Then we would actually
Yeah.
create the next year's business plan from that. So
Yeah.
we are always rolling. And guess what? Everyone knew where we were all the time and we knew all of our goals. The business grew so fast because everyone knew the goal and how to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And and this is the other thing, and I think this is something we do need to spend a few minutes in here, is business owners, especially new ones, they have no idea what to set as a goal. What areas
Right.
should they be setting as goals? Because you go, well, what's the goal? Well, I'm opening my business. Oh, I'm running my business. Okay, so what's the goal? Money. Okay, how much? And it becomes this like pulling the way out.
Right.
And I will tell you, I use a project management tool that ties into my CRM, it ties in. Everything's interlinked because that's how I have to operate. You have to find what operates for you. I have goals set down for different areas of my life and business. And I do treat my personal life with goals like I would treat my business, because
Absolutely.
I believe in having personal life and business balance. And if I don't have goals for me personally, then I'm not really trying to exceed personally.
That's
So
true.
you should have many different areas in which you have goals in. Some
Yeah.
goals will be aggressive, some might not.
Well, you know me, I do my planning every year, like
Hmm.
religious in my world, but I have not only my business goals, my personal goals, my finance goals, my health goals, my travel goals.
Hmm.
Everything's in there. And guess what? Throughout the year, I know right where it is because it's in my notebook. I can't avoid it. I stay on track to that.
Yeah, you respect it. So personally, you've got things like health, fitness,
Mhm.
growth, travel,
Relationship.
adventureships,
No,
friendships.
yeah, friendships, relationships, those should be goals in there because if, let's say, I know this, I've consulted so many business owners on this. Do you take time to have date night with your spouse? And I get the same look every single time.
Yeah, seen people do that all the time as well.
And I
Do
go,
you spend time with your friends?
I get same look. When was the last time you took a vacation? Same look.
Yeah. And if your goal in your business is that you want a particular, because one of my goals is a particular house, I have the Zillow listing for it. I printed a picture of the Zillow because I'm visual.
Hmm.
It is, I have a dream board, different way, but mine's more text, but with some images that trigger it because I break it down, I reverse engineer these goals. So one of my personal goals is this particular house.
Hmm.
And I use that to fuel my business goals because to get that house, I have to hit certain goals over here.
Right.
So all that should be there.
Absolutely. So I think what we're trying to tell people is you have to have a solid goal, and this is not easy. It is not easy, especially when you have this nebulous, I want to make money goal or retire in 10-year goal. The best thing you do is get some help with it, and someone will play devil's advocate in a nice way, not to be mean, but they're picking apart the holes that you're not seeing because you're so into it.
Well, if we were to give them three things that they should make a goal for in their business as a basic minimal,
Yeah.
what would those three goals be? I'd say my first one would be the net and gross profits.
Yeah,
What are those
absolutely.
what are the percentages? What are the amounts?
Hmm.
What, and then you reverse engineer it. To get to this net and gross, what do you need to do? How do you need to break it down? Where do you need to order? What do you need to shift? But you come up with a goal for that first. That's one of my biggest priorities.
Oh, absolutely. That's the first thing I look at is revenue and profit, two different things. So you have
Yes.
to look at both, but they should each have their goal tied to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say the second goal is your personal goals because people don't get this. Entrepreneurs don't get this. Your personal goals and your business goals are this. They are
Hmm.
one. They are
Yeah.
tied together. One is symbiote to the other. So let's say you're leaving that $100,000 job to start your business. You not only lost $100,000 of income, you also probably lost your health care, all these other
Hmm.
benefits, and you don't realize that you need now to make probably 200,000 take home to compensate for the 100,000 you just lost.
Yeah. And part of that as well is a lot of small business owners, I find that they come up with this idea, they go all in, they're like, I'm going to have my business. And either at 3 months mark,
Hmm.
it splits into three separate entrepreneurs. The one that is burnt out, exhausted, and dropping down, going, I was never cut out for this. I don't know what I was doing. I have to quit and go back to the beginning.
Right.
I have to go back to a regular job. But normally it's because they didn't set goals, they didn't set boundaries, they didn't do any of that.
They
And
didn't
then
have
the
a
other two,
plan.
they don't have a plan. The other two that stay in business, the ones that have goals, plans, boundaries, they're the ones that do this and go up, 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 up. And that middle one is the ones that don't have a plan and a goal, but they're sticking out because they won't fail. And then 10 years later, well, I did 3 sales in last year, and that was amazing. I made a whopping $15.
That's it.
You want to be the one that keeps going and keeps rising.
Yeah, because you have to have a plan behind the goal. How are you going to get to the
Mhm.
goal?
Yeah. And then, and this is one that I'm going to say 95% of business owners do not talk about this in their first year, this goal, and you should. What is your expansion goal?
Yeah.
Because if you have this magical number, because every single one I speak to, they're going to be millionaires, they're going to be multi-millionaires, they're going to be making multiple six figures. They've got these great lofty, they're going to be world famous. I even had someone try and tell me they were the direct competitor to Amazon, and people at Amazon were trying to take them out. No, but what is your expansion goal? Do you need, if you were to expand to hit the numbers and the revenue you wanted, do you need to hire people? Do you need to automate? Do you need to process out? Do you need to franchise? Do you need to multiply? What are these goals? How would you do it? And this looks like, again, reverse engineering. Well, once I hit X amount of sales of products or sales of service, I need to bring in this person to take this off my list. And this goes back to that, write everything you do in a day,
Mhm.
in a week. And then once you've done that, go around with a circle, a highlighter, and circle all the things you hate doing.
Yeah,
And then those are the jobs that you
that's
farm
who you
out
hire.
first. That's who you're hiring. If you hate it, it drives you crazy and you don't want to do it, you hire it. So you have ROI,
Mhm.
personal, and expansion. You can have more goals than that. There is no limit to how many goals you can have as long as they're clearly thought out and they don't contradict each other.
That's it. Yeah. Second business. When I built it, I knew who to hire first at a certain point, and I did everything to get to that point fast.
Yeah.
That was my goal, fast. Then I hired that person. Then we had goals. Each of us now had different goals,
Hmm.
and we grew. And then we knew at a certain point, number three will come in, the third person. And the next thing I know, I have 9 people on
Yeah.
my staff, and we're only 7 months into my business.
But you need to, if you know you're going to have to hire someone, what's the revenue you need to be at to make that a
Mhm.
valid idea? Because too many
Yeah,
people hire people before they're making enough money to pay themselves and the other person.
exactly.
So this is goals. You've got to come up with a way to do it. And if you don't have a way, well, then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, honestly. And the amount that I see with no goals,
That's it's insane, especially doing workshops for small business owners. If I ask this question, I go, "Do you all have goals?" They all raise their hand. I go, "Is it written down and you have a process to reach it?" All the hands
all
drop.
the hands go down. Do the reverse engineering. And we could probably do a whole talk on reverse engineering beyond this.
Oh, we could do it on one aspect of business, and it would take an hour. Let's talk about it. Doing your own accounting.
Yeah. Oh God. No, hire someone, please.
Hire someone.
Okay. So in the comment, make sure you subscribe and give us a like. We're here doing this. We're gifting you all this knowledge and gifting you paths to be successful in your business. Because honestly, I'm just going to be really real here. I wish I had someone like me and Stephen in my corner when I first started. Because
Me too.
every single person wanted to charge me thousands of dollars to give me even a quarter of what we have given you over these podcasts so far. And you can listen to them all back to back for free. So subscribe and let us know what your goals are. I want to see what some of your fun goals are and what you're expecting the time to be for those goals.
Yeah.
And it
And are
doesn't
you on
have to
track?
be, yeah, doesn't have to be, I will hit this goal by February 26th in 2027. It's like, this is my 1 year goal. This is my 5 year. You don't have to have a date. You don't have to have a time, but you do need to have a deadline.
Yeah. And then reverse engineer that with processes. But like all those entrepreneurs, they all gave me that look. They knew I set goals and I achieve them, and they didn't. And their business was the same as it was the year before that, year before
Or
that.
less.
Yeah.
Or less. I've seen most people that don't write down their goals, it does this. It goes downhill.
So let's hear
So,
your goals in the comments.
and comment that in and subscribe and share this to someone else you might think, they're not saying goals, they need to. Let's call them out in the nice way, maybe,
Exactly.
possibly. All right, see you next week on the Tea and Coffee Hub.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Tea and Coffee Hub podcast today. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and it left you inspired, equipped, and ready to take your next step, whether that's in life, business, or maybe both.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes, and connect with us online and in person. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Until next time,
Keep sipping,
keep growing,
take action.
and stop making excuses.